Finally, Link has come back to his channel.
Legends, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing something a bit different. We're going to be unboxing one of these. It is a Jonkuu Powerbank. It is the 26,800 mAh Powerbank. I'm going to unbox it, then I'm going to use it for a couple of days, then I'm going to record the review. So, I don't know if it's any good or not yet. So, let's get into the box. It's from Amazon. They're normally about £23, but I paid about £16, £15.50 in a lightning deal. So I got like nearly £10 off, so I thought I would try it. Okay, so the packaging's proper basic. It's a brown cardboard box. It's a cheap brand. I used to have a good Anker power bank. I lost it, so that's why I am now buying a cheap power bank, because I don't want to lose a good one. That feels solid. Don't think it has a battery indicator on it. Oh yeah, the battery indicator is here on the side, very small. Other side has a power button. Turn it on. Already got 3 lights of batteries. Got the little Jonkuu branded in the bottom corner. It's already picked up fingerprints. Comes with a tiny micro USB charging cable. Literally the tiniest little charging cable ever. And then you get welcome guide manual. It just says charge with a USB port, basically plug it in. It says when only one light is on and flashes, it indicates the unit has been exhausted. The device should be charged in time to avoid damage to the equipment due to prolonged zero battery time. Then there's some warnings about batteries saying don't throw it or anything like that. So I'm going to use it for a couple of days and then I'll tell you what I think. So I've now had this charger for a week. I'm going to split the review as usual, go through the positives, go through the negatives, and then we're going to give it a score out of 10. So the first positive I want to talk about is the fact the cable is included. That for me was quite a useful point. The fact that I had a cable so I didn't have to buy one, that was handy. That was handy. Battery life is 26,800 mAh, I believe. Yep, just checking the numbers. It lasted absolutely ages. Over the course of a weekend, I charged my phone off it 4 times. I charged my Switch from dead to full. And it still had a bar of battery. That includes using my phone during some of the charging and also using the Switch during a little bit of the charging. So it charged my Switch and my phone comfortably. It charged them both way quicker than I expected as well. So yeah, the output really good. Charges stuff quickly, which I didn't expect from a cheap battery. I used to have a Anker power core, and this performed similarly to what I remember that performing like before I lost it. Another positive, it's got 2 ports on the top. So it's got 2 USB outputs, which means you can charge 2 things at once, which is obviously great. Especially when you're on the go and you maybe don't have much time to be able to charge 2 things at once. Perfect. I actually charged a smaller power bank and my phone just to see if it slowed down the charging much. And I couldn't really notice any difference between charging this, like charging a power bank and my phone together and just charging my phone. So it didn't really lose any speed because of that. The other main positive is how cheap this is. This is on Amazon for about £23. I only paid £14.56 in a lightning deal. So I paid less than £15 for a power bank, which compares to one I paid about 50 quid for from Anker. And the performance from the first day, I can't notice any differences. It looks uglier, but performance wise, it's really, really good for the money. Really, really good. The first negative is, we're talking about how cheap it is. It looks cheap. It literally, like the print, the way it's written on the back, that all looks, I don't know how well it's focusing, but that all looks so cheap. The whole thing feels like a 80s Game Boy or something. Like, just feels like it's really, really rubbish. Like the noise it makes. I don't even like that. It's just cheap plastic. Like, it feels so cheap. It's obviously not something you're going to hold much. You're going to pick it up, plug your phone, and then chuck it in your bag or chuck it in your pocket. That's another negative. It's so big. I don't know how well you'd get this in your pocket. It fits in my leather jacket pocket, but my leather jacket has big pockets. Like, I can get that. I don't know how you can see that, but I can get that in there and zip it up. So yeah, it fits in there, but whether it would fit in like a normal jean pocket, probably not, because of how big it is. Not so much of an issue, obviously, for women that are carrying a handbag about, because if you normally have keep your phone in your handbag, you can keep it in there with that. But for guys who normally have their phone in their pocket, or for women who normally have their phone in their pocket, it is a bit of an issue if you want to charge it using this because of how bulky it is. So that is a negative. It's so big, but then for that size battery, it does have to be big. So it is a minus point compared to a smaller charger. But just remember, like, that size gives you the amount of battery life that you get. So that's why. Looks cheap and it feels cheap. Now another negative is my one is very slightly faulty in that in the ports, as you can see there, you have a USB input, like a micro USB, and also USB-C in. If I hold it that way, you should be able to read the titles as well. Now, the issue with that is the USB-C input doesn't work. Strange, I know. It doesn't, in the Amazon listing, mention the USB-C as an output. But I used the USB-C cable, which is USB-C one end, micro USB the other end, see if I could charge an power bank, and I could. So whether the Amazon listing is wrong and it's just got USB-C out and it doesn't have USB-C in, or whether my product is faulty, I don't actually know. I have contacted Amazon on Saturday, not heard back from them, which is annoying because they were like, yes, you can have a refund. Yeah, but I want to know, do I need to get a refund and get another one of these? Or is this one faulty? I don't know. So that's what I've asked Amazon for. Amazon, they're looking into it. So I don't know that. But even without the USB-C input, if that's not an issue for you, which it's not for me really, so I don't even mind keeping this one because I got it in the Lightning deal. I'm going to charge it through micro USB anyway, so it doesn't bother me that it doesn't have USB-C in. It's not bad. It's not bad. In review, it is cheap. Looks cheap, feels cheap. It's good value though. If you need to charge a lot of stuff quickly and you want a cheap, big portable charger, which you're going to drop, I thought I was going to break my foot there. It's so heavy. This is the one for you guys. I'm going to give the product a 6 out of 10. Reason it's not high is because it feels cheap. I did think about giving it a 5, but I feel that's too brutal because of how cheap it is. It's really good value, so I think that gives it sort of extra points. The battery life of it's fine, the output fine. So really, the things that stop this from actually getting a 10 is how cheap it feels, how cheap it looks, and the USB-C not working. Now it could be that this product's faulty, it could be that the Amazon listing's wrong, but I'm knocking 2 points off for the USB-C not working. I'm knocking 1 point off for how cheap it looks and 1 point for how cheap it feels. But in terms of it being a charger and working, it's brilliant. But for me, the USB-C input would have been handy from time to time because I have a Nintendo Switch. So I've always got a USB-C cable in my bag. But apart from that, I can't fault it. So there you go, guys. 6 out of 10. Thanks so much for watching today, guys. If you've enjoyed that, you can click up here and you can watch another video of mine. Or if you really love it, if you really love it, or even if you just like it a little bit, go down here and subscribe to the channel. It means you'll never ever miss what is coming up real soon.